Hello, good evening. You are watching Mr. Jones Open Mic. We've got some great acts on this evening. It's a big lineup on the show tonight. Let's see who's on the show.
You shook my hand, and that was all he said. Come on, everybody, take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me.
I was off the one side non-conforming. They was all engaged in some mutual stalking. Back to the afters, corner shop lagers. We was at the bar, I said disaster with laughter. And we couldn't go much harder. And we don't wear no armor. And a human
I could make days last forever. And words couldn't make the wishes come true. Save every day.
Had my moments, they don't come often, but I know when they come.
So without further ado, I think I'm going to start chatting away to Gareth and find out what he's been up to. So Gareth, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I was watching the intro video of the title sequence thing. I was just thinking what you're doing is so impressive with the way that you've got this massive title sequence and you'll make talk live, which is great because that's not easy. I was saying that when we were talking before earlier in the week that I've had some experience with this technology from that thing I did about my nephew, and it's very complicated, and you guys are doing a fantastic job. So
Thanks very much. I mean, contrary to the start of this show, but yeah, we seem to be getting there week on, week out, right? But yeah, we're trying, and I think we're ultimately trying to bring lots of musicians together, and I think nothing but good things can come from that. And what a fine way to start the show with yourself, Gareth. So what was that mug you've got there this evening?
Yeah, Star Wars.
Of course, big Star Wars fan, aren't you, Gareth?
Yeah, big Star Wars. I mean, science fiction in general. It's very rare that I won't like something that's science fiction. Very rare. And Star Wars. I mean, I was just the right age, a boy of 6 when the first Star Wars came out. So, it was made for me.
1977.
Yeah, I'm well old.
You're a little bit older than me because I always remember the fact that it was obviously out in 1977 because that was the year I was born. Not a bad year to be born. The year that Star Wars came out, amongst other things. I think, wasn't it Elvis died, I think, at the same year? But anyway.
Yeah, I think Jaws came out in 77 as well.
Well, we were talking about glitches and obviously it seems that the world of streaming is a complicated new world for musicians. We all want to be back into venues. It was a struggle enough working out how to use a PA system, and we got over that. And then now we've got all this electrical stuff, and it takes about 18 different new things to learn about to be able to do this successfully. Earlier, we had people joining onto our Facebook page to do open mic slots. And they all did really well, although there were some technical issues. In fact, some people have been getting their COVID jabs today, which is why there was a bit of a break in that. We had 2 young lads that started us off. They were the Station, Dylan and Louis Morris. They're quite new faces. They were pretty good. I thought I'd give them a mention, all the people that were on earlier. We had Jude McGraw. He's definitely growing in confidence. I know he was a very nervous young man on his first performance, but then sometimes open mics are a great way to sort of settle those nerves. So he's going from strength to strength. We had Andy Osman, who is very familiar with streams, but even today he does sometimes struggle with the occasional hiccup himself. I think once we tried to get him onto the ShowCase show to have a chat, and he couldn't get his mic working. And then Rob Abbott, well, he's a great performer. He's had a tough time with technology. But Rob, if you're watching, maybe next time. So it was about 6 years ago, I think, Gareth, when we first saw you at Mr. Jones Open Mic, when we used to hold events in real locations in the Fairham. I think
I'll never forget it because we did a few songs. I think you asked us to do an extra one as well, from what I remember. And that was when we did Wales of London, which is obviously one of our kind of staple sort of end of set kind of songs. And it was just so nice because we hadn't been there before, we hadn't met you guys before, and the whole place was howling with us. I remember we did Stray Cat Strut, and we always mess around with Stray Cat Strut. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Yeah,
mate, you blew the roof off. It was a brilliant set, and I remember it well. And a very popular band, obviously, formed as a result of you being the front man. You've obviously pulled a collective of musicians together, and has it evolved a lot, the band?
Oh yeah, totally. And it has become a bit of a collective now. I mean, I see it as 7 people now, but it's most of the time it's not 7 people. It's 5 or 6 most of the time. But we can do duo gigs as well, and you know, a combination of whatever is right for what's been asked. But yeah, I mean, we started off as a duo. For a few years we were a duo, and then our second album was much more of a sort of like a full band kind of sound. So we thought, well, as we've recorded these songs like this with all these guests, let's have a permanent bass player and a permanent drummer. So that's when we started doing that. So that was back in 2010. But the lineup's changed loads. So, and the guy that I originally started the band with, the duo, he had to have a break in 2013, but he's come back now after a few years. So he does the occasional thing. He can't do everything with us, but he's come back occasionally, which is amazing because we've got a very special telepathy, you know.
It's that connection that's been built up over years as musicians can.
Yeah, so that's really special. We're kind of, you know, we've been labelled like Portsmouth, Summer and Garfunkel and that kind of stuff, you know, which is really nice. And I wouldn't want to lose that, so I'm so pleased that he's back in the fold with us. And me and him are going to do something. I don't know when and how we're going to announce it, but we're going to do something soon from the summer onwards, which is just going to be the 2 of us. So that's going to be really nice. We can recapture that kind of thing we had in the first couple of years of BEMIS. So that'd be cool.
Well, I know that anyone that's watching the show will probably be interested in hearing some music probably soon rather than us chatting. So you've been kind enough to record some music for us. I think the first one was Richard Marx's song. Do you want to help us understand a little bit more about that music? Because I haven't heard of him before.
Oh, okay. So he's a guy that had a bunch of hits in the 80s and early 90s. Bit of a romantic ballad kind of guy for most of his big hits. But there's this one song he did, which is an absolutely beautiful song. It's a narrative song, and it is it's extremely deep because you can see there's lyrics in there that there's something, you know, different about this guy, this character in the song. It's just really nicely written. It's a beautiful melody, and it's a lovely song to sing. So it's actually quite difficult to sing as well because of the bridge. But you have to choose the right key to sing this song. You know, if you found out with bridges, the song's fine, and you get to the bridge, you go, "What the hell are you doing?" Songs, there's always the bridge.
Take you out of the comfort zone.
It takes you right up there. Like Summer of '69's like that, isn't it? You're singing along, and then you get to the bridge. Whoa, I've got to go up there, you know.
It all starts off fine. You're like, oh, this actually sounds all right. I think I can do this. And then you get to that middle bit and you're like, whoa, actually, this is...
Yeah, so this song's a bit like this. But I chose, it's in E minor, which is where the verses are very low. So anyway, yeah, it's such a beautiful song. So
Richard Marx, Hazard. She loved to watch the sun go of the night, you went out walking alone and never came home. Man with a badge came knocking next morning. There was I surrounded by 1,000 fingers suddenly pointed right at me. I swear I left her by the river. I swear I left her safe and sound. I need to make it to the river and leave this old Nebraskan town. Think about my life gone by and how it's done me wrong. There's no escape for me this time. All my rescues are gone, long gone. I swear I left her by the river. I swear I left her safe and sound. I need to make it to the river and leave this old Nebraskan town.
Yeah, really nice song actually. I mean, Lindsay was saying to me, Lindsay, who does a lot of those videos that we sometimes use for promotions and stuff. She's here tonight. She's beavering away on the computer behind me, but she's like, "You know Richard Marx?" I'm like, "Do I know Richard Marx?" I'm obviously clearly uneducated. I need to listen to some more and certainly refresh my memory. Maybe I know a few tracks.
I think his biggest song was Right Here Waiting, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
Proper, like, ballad thing, Very
Well, I definitely need to go back and listen to some more of his. But also, it's I saw the reference halfway through the song when you had to go up, and I thought, oh, that's what he meant.
yeah. I'd prefer it to do it in a higher key, so the verses are higher. But then you got to do that bridge, and it's like, toughy.
Well, thank you for everyone that's tuned in. I see Paul Monk is giving you some bits and pieces here on the feed for the comments. Thank you very much for everybody that's watching at the moment. And thank you. I can see we've got Paul Monk there. We've also got Chris Bush. I hope he's still watching as well. And thank you everybody that is tuned in at the moment. We do want to get your feedback on the performances tonight, but also we also want you involved in the feed as well. So do like, comment, and get involved. Ash Kent. I know Ash. Hi Ash, how you doing? How do you not know Richard Marx? Okay, shameful. I'm obviously getting slightly embarrassed by this. I should not have mentioned this.
So that's his best song. I first discovered him from a song called It Don't Mean Nothing, which is a really good sort of anti-music business song about being ripped off by the manager and stuff. That's a good song. It Don't Mean Nothing. Yeah, that was the first song I heard by him. With Joe Walsh is on it as well. He plays lead on it. From the Eagles.
Yeah,
he plays on that. But anyway, enough about Richard Marx today.
Exactly. I mean, back on to BEMIS. Obviously, that's probably where you've been performing mainly as the band, in the very many forms as the band. And obviously, when I first saw you, I think you pretty much had the band with you then.
Yeah, I think.
But you've been busy.
Oh yeah. We used to be, pre-COVID. We were really busy, we were playing every week and playing lots of festivals, doing lots of different kinds of gigs, doing weddings and all sorts of things we do. We could do any kind of gig really, and that's awesome. And I miss it so much, We've got a couple of things booked for after the restrictions change, if they do change. So there's it's starting for us again, but you've only got 2 so far, 1 festival and 1 pub gig. So hopefully,
well, you're normally going to be seen in the festivals. I mean, I've seen you've been playing Wickham Festival, which is a great festival.
Yeah.
Victorious.
Yeah.
Any others you'd like to mention?
We've been really supported by Bearded Theory Festival in Derbyshire. They booked us lots of times, and there's a kind of collective name for some festivals called the Something Else Festivals, and they've been really good to us. Gail, who runs that, has booked us almost every year, pretty much every year actually. Watch It Festival as well, which happens at the same weekend as Victorious. We've played that a lot. That bank holiday weekend used to be so good for us. We've had many years where we've done like 4 gigs in that weekend, so we do lots of biker rallies as well. So those kind of things, really fun, and yeah, it's just so nice with the band to be able to do any combination. If it's
fit for any sort of performance, like you say, you might just have the duo, you might have the full band, you might have up to 7 people up on the stage sometimes, as you said.
Yeah. And when we do big band gigs at the Wedge Rooms, we'd have like previous members come back with us as well, and we have like 11 people on stage at some songs. Love that.
Something to behold. And your YouTube channel for the band is just full of content. So there's a lot of things that people can go and check out on the BEMIS YouTube channel. So I recommend you check it out. We're going to be playing a little bit of BEMIS music next. It's the World of Difference song. Tell me a little bit about that.
So this was the title track to the album World of Difference. It was the first album we did with Mayfield Records, which we now signed to, and it's I really love the album. I'm very proud of it. I think it's my favourite BEMIS album. We've done one since then, but there was something very special about this World of Difference. It's the first one that my son's in the band now. First one where we wrote songs together as well, and we wrote World of Difference together. So this is written by me and my son. He's an amazing guitarist.
I've
all
seen.
round. Yeah. So yeah, it's and I love the video as well because there's a few famous people in it, and it's like I was amazed that some of the people that said they'd be in it to show up the thing, to show up the words. So yeah, all sorts of things like that. It makes it quite special.
This video you're about to see, for anybody that's watching, is the BEMIS video, a collection of people involved in this. You see how many faces. You may even recognise some.
Maybe, yeah.
Thousands of years, miles and miles of common ground.
So you can see there at the end that was raising money as well.
Yeah, well, it's that was I can't remember what gig that was, but yeah, I mean, it's lovely to see everyone on stage, you know, and being, that was at the Wedge, and
That was at the Wedge, yeah. I recognised the stage.
yeah.
There's quite a few up there that night.
Yeah. That looked like we were going off, so that must have been just before an encore. That wouldn't have been the last song of the night, but that might have been the last song of the main set. So yeah, you see me taking the plug out of the acoustic, innit? But yeah, good times. They're going to be back.
They will be back. Well, thanks again for everybody that's watching. You can see that Paul's commented they had forgotten about Dylan's dancing on this video.
I really miss Dylan's dancing. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Dylan is like, he's an incredible bass player. He's a really good friend. He's a lovely, lovely man. But he's also, you know, him and Louis do these synchronized dancing on stage and stuff like that, which is always really good. They when we do werewolves, they always do the werewolf two-step, they call it. And so they're always having a good laugh on stage and stuff. And actually, Dylan's one of the few people that if I need to disappear from the mic or whatever and do something, he can talk nonsense like I can. So he sometimes says some really
that's a skill in itself sometimes, trying to fill when you're on stage and talk something that's, you know, relatively interesting to hear. So I believe you said your sister-in-law's in this one as well, right?
Yeah. So Kaya, the thing about the World of Difference, I mean, it's a big kind of shout out to multinationalism. That sounds a bit weird. Multiculturalism. There we are. Multiculturalism. So that's kind of the main point of the song. But I wanted the video to be more than that. I wanted to have, because there's a boy with autism in it, my friend's son, and my sister-in-law who's got Down syndrome and autism and all sorts of things. She's in the video as well. Yeah, she's in it a few times. I think she's in the chorus bits. So yeah, it's awesome that she's there. Yeah,
lots of people involved. And you did mention you've got a few festivals coming up. Any that you can mention?
Well, we've only got one date so far, so that's one of the Something Else festivals. So Something Else by the Sea. I can't remember where it is, but it's by the sea. But that's happening. So that's in September. So yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if we have a dry September, but you never know, do you?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. There's always a Something Else gig at the end of September, the last weekend, and sometimes it's been quite a wet weekend, really muddy and stuff. So it's not quite as good to be at a festival when it's wet, is it? But
no, I've been to a few that have been really, really muddy. You know, where you have to take your wellies if you're going for a weekend.
You have to take your good spirits, don't you?
Yeah, I think half the festival went home during the Isle of Wight festival when it really rained. And I ended up watching Kasabian quite close up because half the field was empty. But saw all sorts of unusual images. I think one of the funniest, I wish I had a camera with me actually, because it sort of pictured the moment of a very wet festival. There was a beautiful image I saw initially, which was a biffa bin with the lid open and some umbrellas that were holding that lid up so all these kids could stay sheltered underneath this lid. And then the opposite side of the bin was a guy throwing up. And I thought that was the image from that festival.
Festivals are special.
So you're obviously doing some solo stuff. I've seen some streams. I've seen some wonderful stuff with your son as well, which is really nice to see. But is it right you've got a solo album coming up from all of this?
Yeah, basically, I it's been a bit of a discovery for me, like an interesting kind of journey that I've always felt much more comfortable with other people with me. I've never been comfortable on my own, because even before BEMIS, I did do gigs on my own, but the first thing I did properly back in 1989 was my first duo. And the other guy sang lead, and I sang harmony and played the guitar, and it was still good to have him kind of at the front, kind of leading it, if you like, for me.
Yeah.
And I do occasional solo things, but I was always so nervous. And then working with Richie when we started BEMIS kind of made me less nervous. And anyway, in general, I've been very nervous on my own. But this experience of having to do it on my own through lockdown has made me much more confident about whether these songs survive without the lead guitar and without the harmonies and without all those other things that we put in it as a band. And it's made me think, actually, yeah, maybe the songs do stand up, and it makes me think I probably could do a set on my own. So I am.
Well, let's see. Let's see what people think. I'm going to play another one of the tracks that you've done, which is a solo. And for anybody that's watching, do stay tuned. Let's watch this video, and if you like it, give it a good thumbs up at the end. We'd really appreciate it. So yeah, tell us a little bit about this song before we play it.
Yeah, this is Slogan Songs. This is from the first BEMIS album. So that was done in the first album was done in 2007. So the band's been going for 15 years this year, because we did it just before we played in Thailand, which was an amazing thing. We had a 5-week gig in Thailand, me and Richie, where we played 6 nights a week in this beach club.
Wow.
Up this hotel. We were treated like kings. It was amazing. But anyway, we really wanted to have a product to sell while we were there, so we kind of quickly did this first album, and it's some really good stuff on it. Brilliant Fires on it, and People Live On, which is like probably 2 of our most popular songs. But Slogan Song is on it, and it's one that I've kind of recently gone back to. So I didn't play it for years and years and years. And I started doing it again in these live streams, and I kind of grown to like it again. And it's a song about songs, basically.
Okay, so this is Slogan Song. So let's get the name right.
It is Slogan Song, isn't it?
Slogan Song, yeah, I did get it right. That's good.
Okay, I want to thank Marcus for asking me to be here. That's really cool. And I'm doing a song from the first BEMIS album, so that goes right back to 2007. It goes back before that, actually, but that's the first proper recording of it. Yeah, it's a song about songs, but yeah, Slogan Song it's called. Next year will be a better year. Next song will be a better song. Next line will say the things I want to say. Next week will be comfortable. Next time will be a better time. Next war will make it worth any delay. Most songs are just slogans, and the people who write them just afraid for themselves and for their children, or just afraid of dying without making good. Ideals are not just romance. Married life is not just a cliche, and music is not just a middle class game. A good friend is not just a luxury. A good life is not just a quiet one, and politics is not just for the people with shame. Most songs are just slogans, and the people who write them just afraid for themselves and for their children, or just afraid of dying without making, or just afraid of dying without making, or just
Slogan Song.
Nice song.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we were actually watching and chatting to Gareth Howells, part of BEMIS, frontman. He's a music teacher. It's music, isn't it? You teach?
Yeah.
Author, musician. I mean, is there anything this man doesn't do?
Can't wire a plug.
and
I can't.
He can't.
Go to you.
Now I've got Frank, our next guest. He's going to be in the wings, I'm sure, wanting to also perform for us tonight. It's been wonderful speaking to you, mate. I imagine we could probably do a whole show on BEMIS and Gareth Howells. We're going to be joined by Frank. I can see he's in the wings. Frank, if you're ready, we'll bring you in just a second then. Once again, thank you very much for joining us tonight. That was a lovely song, by the way, there.
Thanks a lot. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you back on stage as well, and seeing your band back. And
yeah, let's hope so.
Be cool.
I'm looking forward to it too. We haven't got any gigs lined up just yet. I know Sarah Smith, our violin player, has got plenty. So the live music scene is starting to grow again, and people are starting to get bookings as we kind of see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So hopefully we'll start seeing each other around in the festival scenes on a stage sometime soon.
Yeah.
For anybody who's watching, we're going to do a thing tonight where I'd like to know what your music-related movies are, your best music-related movies. Easy to say. And I know you quite like your movies too, Gareth.
Oh, totally, yeah. So, my favourite music-related movie, besides obviously, it goes without saying we don't need to mention Spinal Tap, but regardless of Spinal Tap, because it's obvious, Almost Famous I think it's an amazing film. And I know we were talking earlier in the week about biopics, and I was thinking it's like, I'm not as much of a fan of biopics, but I love the film Backbeat. Have you seen Backbeat, about the Beatles?
Backbeat, the Beatles, yeah. That's good. That's pretty good, actually. I haven't seen that one for a long time. It sort of came and disappeared, but that's a definite classic. Yeah,
that's an awesome one. And obviously The Wall's a really good film, isn't it? And I'm massively into Afro-Cuban music, and the film about the Buena Vista Social Club is a really good one.
That sounds like one I need to see.
Yeah, so also Ry Cooder produced it, and like, it's like a lot of those guys have died now because like they're all in their 80s, and the film is just such a great tribute to them. So yeah, the Buena Vista Social Club is a really good one.
So if you're watching and you can think of a very good music-related movie, maybe I've not seen it, maybe nobody else has seen it, and they would like to know a good one to watch, then do give us your suggestions. There's quite a few there from Gareth. I'm going to see if Frank's got any. Frank, how you doing?
Hiya. I'm very well, thank you. Well done, Gareth.
Thank you for waiting
brilliant.
Patiently.
Thank you.
We just before we say goodbye to Gareth, Frank, have you got any good music-related movies? What would you say? Name me at least one.
I would say, and I've just been prompted because I wasn't expecting the question by Annie, my wife. Once.
Yes.
Came out in 2000.
I've got that written down.
Fabulous song called "Falling Slowly."
Yeah.
Which I've done because it's a duet, man and a woman duet, and I've sung it with my sister, which is a bit dodgy sometimes, Well, anyway, we won't go there. I've also performed it with my granddaughter in the Eagle, Marcus, which is even dodgier, really. But anyway, we won't go there either.
We didn't want to pick up on that, but yeah, it is a lovely song. At least it's a nice sounding song, and I'm sure you perform it very well. So yeah, there we go. Another couple of classic movies for you to go watch. And remember, if you've got any you'd like to hear about those actually in the feed, so do comment on there and let us know. For now, Gareth, thank you very much.
Thanks a million, and nice one. I'll see you later, and nice to meet you, Frank.
Okay, cheers, mate. Thank you. Well done.
So we've got Frank now on the screen, and thank you again for waiting patiently. Frank, you're a music veteran. I'm really pleased to get you on the show. Now, I first saw you, must have run into you at the Willows Folk Club in Arundel, which is obviously where we both actually still live, many moons ago.
Yeah, I guess you were, 15? Marcus?
Must have been about 15, 16. And you were doing a great job again, bringing musicians together. So a little bit of inspiration. You kind of inspired me to do something similar with these open mics.
Wow. Well, that would be a nice thought, but I'm sure you're giving me too much credit. We ran the club as a committee, and your dad was on the committee.
Well, that is true. That is true. And the Willows Folk Club, obviously, still needs a bit of support. I'm sure they'll be starting up again soon. And also remember from some of the performances that I did there that you were kind enough to lend me your Martin guitar, because mine, I think maybe strings are broken or something. And ever since then, at my open mics, I've had people wanting to play mine, and I've been quite willing to let them play, because I remember playing on that guitar and just thinking, oh my god, this is what a guitar should sound like. So I'll never forget that, Frank. So thank you very much for your kind generosity to letting me play on your prized Martin guitar. Never forgotten it.
It is sometimes a scary thing, lending your guitar, especially when it's one as special as my Martin. That guitar was made in 1973. So it's a real veteran. It shows its age, and plenty of knocks on it, and and a couple of times I've lent it to people and they've added knocks to it. So it's a bit of a scary thing, but I think it's necessary. After all, it's only a few bits of wood and wire, isn't it?
Well, that's true. I mean, so long as they don't break the thing. I mean, I remember handing mine to somebody once, quite happily letting them play, but he didn't have any plectrums. I didn't realise this. So he was playing with his fingers. When he gave me the guitar back, I noticed his hand was bleeding, and my guitar now has his blood at the back of it. So, it's got a few... It's not very nice, but this happened, and I did start questioning whether or not I would do it again, but it has happened. A lot of people have played on that guitar. It's got a lot of history, which is, of course, yours does too. It was made before I was born.
Yeah.
So, mate, we're going to hear some music from you. Thank you very much for recording some bits and pieces for us.
I'll tell you about that song. It's called Last Dance. I think I only finished it in the last couple of days, just before I recorded it, in the sense that, you're fiddling around with the odd word here and there, and the way in which you sing some of the lines. But I started writing this because, as you can tell, I'm of the older generation. I'm a baby boomer, and there really aren't many love songs for us. When we were young, we sang songs about "You're fantastic, I'll love you forever," without having a clue what forever means. And from my perspective, I'm afraid there's much more of my life that involves looking back than there is looking forward. So it's a song about that, and it's a song about celebrating the fact that I've been in love with the same woman for basically 50 years. Although I can't say it's entirely about me, because I don't intend to have a last dance anytime soon. So
Well said.
Song, mate.
And what a wonderful, wonderful story.
Can we share one more dance before the music stops playing? Before the DJ says it's time we left the floor. If we ask for a slow song, that'll make it last longer. And when our dance is over, we'll waltz out through the door. When I first danced beside you, our feet made a tangle. We bumped and we stumbled, but we made each other smile. And then it felt natural to be moving together. And so we agreed we'd keep dancing for a while. Can we share one more dance before the music stops playing? Before the DJ says it's time we left the floor. If we ask for a slow song, that'll make it last longer. And when our dance is over, we'll waltz out through the door. Dance followed dance, and you still stayed beside me, though others would try to break it now and then. It might have been fun to dance with new partners, but what and we share one more dance before the music stops playing, before the DJ says it's time we left the floor. If we ask for a slow song, that'll make it last longer. And when our dance is over, we'll waltz out through the door.
Nice, wonderful song there by Frank Regester. That's really nice, man.
Thank you very much.
It's a fresh one as
Thank
well, and an exclusive.
Absolutely, first time that's ever been heard in public. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. And anybody that's just tuned in, that's a song for, as you say, the older generation, where you feel maybe there aren't so many songs. There's a lot of it is about, you know, like you say, falling in love and spending the rest of your lives together. But actually, this is more about sort of looking back, which is lovely. I think it's a really nice sentiment to a song.
Yeah, nice, yeah. And it's quite interesting. I kind of wrote the song in my head, you know, and then all of a sudden when I started playing it, it ended up in 3/4 time, and I wasn't expecting that. It just kind of happened, you know.
Bit like a waltz through the song. That was quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you are a great songwriter, and I obviously heard your album that you released in, well, obviously we had lockdown in between, so it sort of put on pause really, but the album was called Still, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I can see everyone commenting. Thank you very much for the comments, by the way. You're getting some great love here. You've got Maz saying hi, so hello to Maz.
Hello, Maz. Hello, Maz.
I'm
trying to try the album up, but I can't locate it.
I've got a still for it actually. I'll show you with that in a minute.
Oh, okay. Do the still.
And Karen, thank you very much for watching. She thinks you're sounding great. And
Okay.
Kathy Robbins.
Karen plays on the album.
Lovely.
She's a great double, and she plays on my version of 500 Miles, which is a bit of a different version. If you remember that one.
That's on
There we
the Still
That's
album.
me in the background as well.
I know. Look at that. You both with pictures with a beard, different coloured beards. I was quite shocked when I saw that young picture of you. I hadn't ever seen a younger picture of you. But I mean, handsome little chap, aren't you?
I'm glad you said aren't you rather than weren't you.
Choice words. And yeah, like you say, you released that album just before lockdown. You've still got some copies left, I see.
Yeah.
And you haven't joined the Spotify race yet, so you're a traditional man. We're still with the CDs.
Or just a lazy man, yeah. Yeah.
I should set that up for you, actually. We'll get your music on Spotify. I think we should do that for you.
That'd be great. It is on SoundCloud.
It is on SoundCloud, so that's good. I'm going to play a song from that album. In lockdown, you managed to get out and do some performances for Arundel Festival, which of course had to be done in lockdown, so all isolated performances to be streamed out as part of the festival. And you did a lovely version of Emily Eludes Me, which is what we're going to play next.
Yeah.
Lovely song.
Lovely.
We'll talk about it after we've heard it, yeah?
Okay.
Emily eludes me. She always stays just out of reach, like the flock of gold at Rainbow's End, or the last wave on the beach. Emily said she'd see me at 7, but I know she won't get here till 9. She said when we meet, we'll have something to eat. When she turns up, she says it's far too late to die. Emily eludes me.
Emily eludes me like a half-remembered song. She always leaves me feeling that I'm the one who's in the wrong. Emily said she'd like to go to bed, but she curled up to sleep in my chair. When Emily woke, she went out for a smoke and left me feeling I'd been trying to catch thin air. Emily eludes me. Emily eludes me like a beggar at a feast, like the politician's answer or the promise of the priest. Emily said she can't give me commitment, so I have to give her space. I've wanted her so long, but when we're not together, somehow I can't seem to picture her face. Emily eludes me. Emily eludes me.
That is my favourite song from the album.
Is it? Oh, that's nice to hear. It's quite, yeah, on the album, of course, we've got string quartet and everything with it. So it's kind of a full orchestra, really. There's other things as well, aren't there? So, yeah, no, I'm really pleased with that song. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know that Greg Dean helped you a little bit with the recording on that. Quite a bit, obviously. He was the main man behind that. So he definitely deserves a mention. And obviously, I really want people to be able to hear your music. You say it's on SoundCloud, is that right?
Yeah.
I think we've got
that's all the originals off the album are on SoundCloud. I haven't posted the covers up because obviously there are issues with that.
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously people can catch
but anybody wants the album, they can.
Even better, why not buy the album? So they need to contact you direct.
Absolutely. Yep. frank.register@btinternet.com.
There you go. You can email Frank and you can get a personalised, possibly even signed copy of the album.
Yeah.
So we've had some comments in, Frank. Obviously we've got lots of people watching you this evening, which is great. Thank you, Iris, for your comment earlier. I think we popped that one up. We've got Vanessa Wickens watching. She enjoys the cover of the 500 Miles track,
which I played at her wedding with Jason.
That will be why she's particularly fond of it.
And it was her that when she said, "I'd like you to play 500 Miles" as we walked down the aisle, and I said, "What?" And she said, "As a ballad." So I did an arrangement as a very slow ballad, and that ended up on the album. And that's got my daughter-in-law playing double bass, and my granddaughter Summer. You've got a daughter Summer, haven't you?
I do. Yes.
My granddaughter Summer playing piano on it. So yeah. That's thanks to Vanessa and Jason.
We've had Maz giving a lovely comment there. She's enjoying it. Kathy Robbins, again, thank you very much for watching. Beautiful song. And Ben Grimm, well done, Dad.
Yes, that's Ben. You know Ben, don't you, Marcus?
I think we may have met. Yeah, I think I do know him. So thanks again for anybody that's tuning in. Well, you're watching Frank Regester this evening. We've just been talking about his album and really your songwriting. It's fantastic. I'm a little bit jealous. Where does it all start?
Where does it start? Well, yeah, who knows? It starts with words usually. I was telling you when we had a chat earlier in the week that Emily Eludes Me just came to me when I was reading a book, and there was the opening sentence of a chapter, and I thought, wow, that sounds like it's a line of a song. So I stole it, changed it a bit, and built a song around it. I won't tell you which book I was reading because somebody might get me for plagiarism.
Well, I mean, that was the story of one of the songs. But you say it normally starts with words for you, generally?
Yeah, and for a lot of songs that I try to write the chorus first because that's the key bit. You've got to have a hook to make people listen. So the previous song, Last Dance, I wrote the chorus first and then decided what the song was about. And obviously I had my inspiration in hand too, and what's some of the things that have happened to us.
And 50 years
has gone into that.
50 years of memories here to put into that. I would imagine that wrote itself once you started.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Although there's a lot of selection involved. Can't say everything.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the other song that you kindly recorded for us. This is another new song?
Yep, yeah. I wrote this, I don't know, we've been doing a lot of walking in lockdown, as a lot of people have. Both that and The Last Dance, somehow, a phrase came to me, and while you're walking, you got lots of time to think. So I had this phrase, and I have no idea. It could have been a response to something Anne said to me, but the phrase, "I'll never know if you never tell me," came to me, and I thought, that could be a hook for a chorus. So I did the chorus, and then worked out what the words of the verses and the bridge needed to be about. So yeah,
okay,
that's how that came.
Let's hear it.
I sit on the armchair like I was alone. You sit on the sofa, thumbing your phone. The silence between us hangs like a threat. What have I failed in? What did I forget? Well, how will I know if you never tell me? Whenever I ask, you coolly decline. I feel in the dark, lost and bewildered. Don't leave me wondering, give me a sign. That thunderous expression you wear on your face. You look at me like I'm a total disgrace. You're all as a martyr, you love to prolong. You've made it quite obvious I've done something wrong. Well, how will I know if you never tell me? Whenever I ask, you coolly decline. I feel in the dark, lost and bewildered. Don't leave me wondering, give me a sign. Talking through our problem was easy in the past. It seems those days of loving trust were destined not to last. Now each little disagreement leads to blame and doubt, and traps us on a one-way street of me thinks it's better that way. 'Cause none of us knows what the other's really thinking. You just have to trust that they mean what they say. So take care what you say.
There we go. Probably another exclusive, right?
Absolutely. Again, first time it's
time.
been heard in public. Yeah.
Well, I think they're being appreciated, that's for sure. I can see people commenting still. Sorry, you were going to say?
Lovely. Well, I was just going to say that I played that to Anne and she said, "Is that about me?" Some of the songs you write, are inspired by things that have happened to you. Some are downright autobiographical, but that's kind of like journal. I have to say this, don't I? Because our communication is, of course, flawless, as in all relationships. Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at some of these comments. Here's a useless fact from Maz. Apparently, Frank used to sing on stage in musicals back in the day. Is that true?
Yeah, I've done all kinds of things singing. Singing has been a part of my life since I was a kid. My mum was a semi-professional singer. I remember when I was, before my voice broke, singing the chorus to the first verse to Once in Royal David City at the chapel that my family used to go to. I had my first band when I was 17. Various bands. Oh, I've got to tell you this story. At university, I was in a band called Randy and the Rockets. And we were kind of like rock and roll revival. And apparently, I'd forgotten this, but one of my mates reminded me. I used to go on stage and say, "We're Randy and the Rockets. These are the Rockets, and I'm always Randy." Not at all.
I was wondering who was Randy.
Yeah. And I had met Anne by this time, and I had a black leather jacket, and she got some red insulation tape and wrote the word Randy on the back of it for me.
Well, you started early. First band at 17 as well.
Yeah. As Maz said, in the would it be the 80s and 90s? I did a few musicals with Worthing Operatic Society. Yeah, so I've done me Gilbert and Sullivan. I've even sung Gilbert and Sullivan in Portuguese when I went to Brazil after I left university.
Do you speak Spanish?
No, Portuguese.
I
learned Portuguese, but I've forgotten most of it now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that just shows my ignorance there, as me thinking they spoke Spanish. Okay, so I see that Jason Wickens is still watching. Great to hear your music, and obviously these are fresh off the press, and the first time anybody's ever heard it. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. We've also got people talking about the wedding that obviously you were involved in, and another comment there from Jason Wickens. Beautiful. And I'd imagine Maz, I mean, I've seen some pictures of Maz. I know she's watching in sort of leggings and whatnot. I don't know if she was a dancer or a singer.
Can I just say, she hasn't changed a bit.
Well, thanks very much. Well, mate, it's been a lovely to have you on this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. I know everybody that's been watching has really enjoyed it too. We're going to have a word with Joe next. Let's bring him in.
Can I just say, Joe's a friend of mine, and it's a great honour to be his warm-up act.
Yeah, it is a great honour for you, and you're welcome.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
put all the brown ones back in your rider, actually.
Well, you two obviously do know each other and have performed on many a stage, probably, and an occasion and event together too. So it's quite a nice little link.
Yeah, perfect. We do some mean duets together.
Yeah.
This is obviously now going to change over to Joe because, of course, he's been busy streaming, hasn't he?
He has. He's a busy boy.
Prolific.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Frank.
Cheers, Frank.
Cheers.
And congratulations, really. I feel like I should be putting a medal on you today, because today is pretty much the anniversary of when you first started doing your streams.
That's correct. It is. Yes, you're right. I started. I had a weekend, or a Friday actually, and across that day I had a phone call saying, "Oh, you're not teaching anymore because the school's closed. So on your bike." And then I had another call saying, "Oh, no more gigs, by the way." And all of a sudden I was sort of like adrift, really. So I decided straight away to do some streams, and then I ended up doing them every day. And for the first 70 odd, I didn't repeat any songs as well. But then I had to start because there's only.
I mean, that's incredible. That is incredible. You didn't have to repeat the songs for how many shows again?
About 70 odd, and I by now I'm up to about 925 songs, different songs. There's a list somewhere.
That's incredible.
On my iPad, and that's up to 925. So it's been brilliant. I've loved doing it. I mean, it's kept me hand in, sort of thing. Even though I've done 3 gigs and 188 live streams in a year.
Who would have thought?
Yeah,
well,
would have thought.
And you probably had to learn quite a lot along the way of all this new streaming technology. I can say it's not easy.
No, you're right. Yeah, I mean that is true, and if you look back on the very early ones where I got my backdrop falling down and microphones falling out and everything getting disconnected, it was just. But we get there with trial and error, and everyone saw me learning, and everyone was so supportive, and we built up.
They were with you. They were with you.
It's just got such a lovely community, and lots of people who've never met each other. Just being nice to each other and kind and thoughtful and such a lovely thing. So,
you've built up a wonderful community of people, and I think this is the nice thing about being able to sort of, pat you on the back on your anniversary, because there a lot of people have gone through some hard times, and there you are still pumping out some entertainment, which must have been near enough every other day. I mean, I don't know how often you were doing it. Pretty much every day to begin with, wasn't it?
Every day until I got to about 150 odds, I think it was, and then I went back to work, and so did a lot of people. I went back to work in September, so I dropped it. So I couldn't do it every night then. So I went back to 2 a week after a while. The thing was that people say, what you're saying is true, that people really do have something. If you're doing nothing all day because you can't, then it's just nice to have something to hang your day on. So that's what I was trying to do. And, there's so many people who've just sort of said it's just been lovely to have something, come together with other people, a bit of socialising, So it was cool, yeah. And there's so many, I can see like Ness and Maz and LINZI and everybody there. They're just fantastic. They've kept me sane as well. They don't realise, but all those days when I couldn't really do much else, I could at least do this, and that means a lot to me. Gave
you a little bit of structure in your day too, then, by the sounds of things. And Maz has just reminded us it's 188 today. Fantastic. In fact, I think you deserve a cheesy round of applause if I can find it. There we go.
Thank you. Yes, 188 today. That is my actual birthday as well. So I'm 188 years old.
That's quite funny, Maz. I like that. Can you imagine if we managed to do that with just 3 chords as well? You've got a lot of these videos that have been uploaded to YouTube, and most of it's going to be found on your Facebook page. So anybody that has not seen you perform before and would like to catch some of this stuff that we're talking about, you can go back and check out Joe's streams under Decent Pop Music, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Decent Pop Music. I just because people ask me what I do, and I kind of don't really know, because I play all sorts of songs, so I just say it's pop music, but not that terrible stuff that you like. It's good stuff,
Well, I've got a little bit of a teaser here, actually, whilst you have a little sip of beer. This is one of the shows. I'll just show a small clip.
Okay, it's a good one.
This here is the place I will be staying. There isn't a number you can call the payphone. Let it ring a long time. If I don't pick up, hang up, call back, let it ring some more. Oh, 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 pick up the sidewinder, sleeps in a car. Call him in and try to wake her up. Call me when you try to wake her.
And that actually links in quite nicely to what I was going to talk about next, because of course you do have other bands that you play with.
I do. Yes, I do.
And that was an REM song that I just heard, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That was the thing. It was a benefit gig for the Minstead Trust, and we, REM, the REMbrandt tribute band, play about once a year at the Hanger Farm Arts Centre, which is in Tottenham, Southampton. And during lockdown, they got in touch with John, our guitarist, and said, "Would your singer mind doing us a stream?" So it was a separate special event, really. And would I mind doing a stream? And they'll run a paying page, because I was really, really reluctant to ask for any money at all for a long, long time, until I realised that I had no means of sustenance over the summer. And so I did that and split the takings with them, and we made a bit of money for the Minstead Trust, and it was lovely. And I got to play for an hour and a half. Half requests, half vote, and half REM songs. That's 3 halves, you know what I mean? A third of each. So that was that, and so the REM band is booking now. We're booking dates, and then there's of course the Boy Wonders, and the Boy Wonders is the band that plays my songs. It formed around me, but it's not my band. It's just like I mean, the drummer Jeff, he goes, "Joe, you need a band, and I'm your drummer." And then Jeremy, the guitarist, came up to me at a festival I was playing. He said, "You need a band for your songs. I'm your guitarist." It was weird, and it happened within a couple of weeks. So the Boy Wonders were formed, and
we had REMbrandt.
Yes.
Yes, and the other one, as you say, would have been, well, actually, let's see.
I don't think that's the Boy Wonders. It could be, actually. I mean,
there might be REMbrandt as well.
That's somewhere, I don't know where. Yeah. Oh, I know where that is. That's someplace, New Milton, something like that. Milford on Sea. That's where it is. Festival we played. Really good fun.
Well, before I start sharing some of your pre-recorded music, I think it's time to hear Joe play live. I'm going to hand the stream over to you, Joe. What are you going to play for us first?
This song's called "I Can't Wait to Be Myself Again," and it's a new song. My feed has heard it, but no, not many other people have, and the Boy Wonders haven't heard it either yet.
Like it's me that's acting strange. What is something that you want to change? Time of compromise been something I don't recognize. Truth is I can't do it anymore. And mess with my mind. If you had your way, you'd rob me blind. And I can't wait to be myself again. Say I'll stay and put, and then you move. You say you love it, then you disapprove. Seeing is believing, and I'm telling you. Call it red, paint it blue. I am not the man you think I am. Just can't win, but I don't know what race I'm in, and I can't wait to be myself again. can't wait to be myself again. I can't wait to be myself again. I can't wait to be myself. No, I can't wait to be myself. No, I can't wait to be myself again.
Nice.
Thank you. Yes, that's a new number. A new number.
Lovely. We're getting loads of exclusive tonight. I didn't expect this, but it's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Well, you know, if you're writing, you've got to do it, haven't you?
Well, thank you to everyone that's watching at the moment. Make yourselves known. Get on the comments. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button. It really does help a lot. And obviously, you can show your appreciation that way. In fact, that's better, than emojis. So thank you very much, those for comments. I can see Maz and Jules there enjoying it. But I'm going to play a video of one of your original songs. I hope you weren't planning on playing it. It's called It Isn't You.
I was. Don't worry, I've got plenty.
Okay, I'm going to play It Isn't You. This is the recorded version, and then we'll get Joe back on in just a second.
See you in a bit.
I had my moments, they don't come often, but I know when they come along. If you are there for me, it helps to know that there's somewhere I belong. We are captured in the headlights of the past, looking out upon the world through broken glasses. I never keep any souvenirs over the memories we'll have to do. Here only mirrors, no more pictures of you, captured in the headlights of the past, looking out upon the world through broken glasses. Where does all the time go? You know it flies so sometimes. And yes, there will be tears, but there are times for us to cry, captured in the headlights of the past, looking out upon the world through broken glasses. And when the voices on the phone, they won't leave you alone, and the echoes in the trees just bring you crashing to your knees, and the music in the dark is just pulling you apart. Well, I'm not sure what it is, but I know this: it isn't you, it isn't you.
That was quite funny to see the guy in the bridge suddenly just burst in with the harmonica. That was a nice touch.
That's Victor's friend Jack. So my son Victor, who I'm hoping to reintroduce you all to later. Victor is sitting here actually, and he helped me do the video on the bridge at Littlehampton over the river, and I got Jack to Jack just turned around and he was just loafing there, and then and that was I thought it was quite funny, and he did it really well. He did drama with he did the drama acting course degree with Victor, so they are fully on it. That's brilliant. Really good, wasn't it?
It was a really nice video. I am now coming in twice now, so I'm going to hand the stream over to you. Next song.
Oh, thank you, Marcus. Okay, well, I have been mucking about with my songs because they're living things and organisms that develop. So here's a song called Surface, but I've just written myself some notes and I'll just put them exactly where I can't see them. Hang on a minute. So I'll just rearrange this slightly. It's called Surface. Thanks very much. That was Surface, which I have mucked about with slightly. What are you pointing at, Victor? Oh, it was you. Okay, that's all right. Right, yeah, brilliant. Right. Anyway, this is a song called. This is a song I wrote. I wrote this song. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Actually, I'm not going to stop anyone. My friend told me that his friend was having a 40th birthday party and he was inviting all his ex-girlfriends. And I kind of lapsed into that flight of fancy that we all get as songwriters or whatever. You know, it's just like what. And then I kind of imagined, and then I wrote a song which was like really kind of not very pleasant, really, about seeing somebody I didn't want to see again. And then I kind of turned it into a nicer song. Victor, do you mind closing that home window, please? I'll tell people to stop messaging all over my page. Thanks.
Never come here myself. You know I wouldn't be seen dead. As you see, I haven't changed crayon still talking. Funny seeing you after all this time. Don't remember your place or mine. Yes, thanks, the kids are doing fine. Chilling out with a bottle of wine. You're still the same old, setting fire to cans of petrol just to see the pretty orange glow. So where do we go from here? Let's make it perfectly clear. Well, I've just been counting the days until I see you again. Oh, did I just say that out loud? In front of all of this crowd? By the way, I forgot to ask, where have you been since I saw you last? You're still the same old, setting fire to cans of petrol just to see the pretty orange glow. Can you see those bridges burning over where the river's running? Water under the bridge, just let it go. Thanks very much. That was called Same Old, as I mentioned at the start, at the outset. Okay, right. This song, I'm going to play another one, and Marcus hasn't chucked me off yet, so I'm figuring that's okay. I wrote this song because I'm kind of like terminally unsuccessful and unambitious as far as making any money out of my music's gone over the years. But often people think that's a kind of a bit of a contradiction, and that shouldn't be the case. And like so sometimes well-meaning people sort of say, "I'll take care of it for you, Joe. I'll make you famous," and it kind of does, and they don't. But what it means is that what little terrible tiny effort I make, I stop doing as well. So nothing gets done at all. Anyway, so I wrote a song about that sort of thing called "Call It Off." Untie the flags and set fire to the bunting. Put the commemorative cups on a skip. I know all this time you've been waiting for something. I don't have anything you wanna keep. I found some dead flowers just there on the doorstep. The ink on the note had washed out in the rain. I had my suspicions, which I chose to ignore, yet you seem to think I'd make you happy again. And I'd our tears underneath yellow lights, and the downpour just stops soon as you close your eyes. Trying to explain, it's as plain as the nose on your face. I could write it all down if you'd like. Invent a new vehicle, bring down the government, whatever it takes just to keep you amused. Sounds like I'm grieving, still savor those little boy blues. And I don't remember promising anything, I don't remember no dotted line. I never swore a song the blood of my family, and I certainly never ever swore blind. That's the last thing on. And I don't remember promising anything, I don't remember no dotted line. I never swore a song the blood of my family, and I certainly never ever swore blind. That's the last thing on my mind.
Thank you very much. That was Cool It Off.
So we've just been listening to Joe Butt. Unfortunately, the feedback from my voice is coming from his system right back again, so it's a really complicated setup. But Joe's going to reconnect in just a second because his son's going to perform for us in a minute, I believe, too. But thank you very much for everybody that's tuning in. We're going to have Joe back in the room. Okay, well, look, I'm going to quickly play The Great Beyond.
Okay.
As a video, and then we'll have Victor play a song, and then I'll move on to the next act.
If you can, Marcus, check out my version of Man on the Moon, which is on my page somewhere, because it's out there.
I shall check it out sometime. I've not heard that one, but this is The Great Beyond.
I've watched the stars fall silent from your eyes. All the sights that I have seen, I can't believe that I believed. I wish that you could see there's a new planet in the solar system. There is nothing up my sleeve. I'm pushing an elephant up the stairs. I'm tossing up punchlines that were never there. Over my shoulder, piano falls, crashing to the ground. In all this talk of time, talk is fine, but I don't want to stay around. Why can't we pantomime, just close our eyes and sleep sweet dreams, me and you with wings on our feet. I'm pushing an elephant up the stairs. I'm tossing up punchlines that were never there. Over my shoulder, piano falls, crashing to the ground. I'm breaking through.
Okay, so I'm going to pass the stream back over because of the feedback. We've got Victor.
All right, yeah, this is no backing track, so we're just going to go straight into Weekend Politics.
Is the guitar too loud? I'll turn the guitar down. You can hear it. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. All right, Weekend Politics. Woo! Yeah, let's go. Yeah, that's good.
Woo! See, I was sitting in position of politicians who don't know me. I was sipping on some spirits in my spirit. I'm lonely. I'm missing my dignity like it was my girlfriend, and wishing I could change it before all my world ends. I'm a renegade, spitting on my elegance. I stay irrelevant so I can enjoy these petulant stories. Or I can enjoy these petulant stories. Weekend politics. Weekend politics. Next up, there's Tiffany, who loves cocktails in Disney. In a bag is a bag. In the bathroom, she's sniffing. She just had an epiphany, start a business in Guernsey, but gurning to herself, and she just lost her Percy. Oh, poor Tiffany, you are the epitome of someone lost to the weekend. She said, don't pity me. Just come here and enjoy my ineffable stories. So I enjoy stories. Weekend politics. Weekend politics. Weekend politics. Weekend politics. Weekend politics. Cheers, thank you. Thank you for having us, and thank you for my dad for playing guitar, Joe Butt. Cheers.
So you've seen quite a few acts this evening, and that sort of nicely links us to our next act who we're just about to put on, Rockafella Skank. So we've just seen Joe Butt play some fantastic tunes, and then his son jumped in, Victor, who done a great set. And it seems that everybody there watching is enjoying the set, so thank you very much. Let's bring the boys back on. Hello.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Although I'm still hearing myself back, which is strange.
The reverb, sorry.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to sort that out. But you sounded fantastic there, mate.
Cheers, thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
No problem at all. So I've got Rockafella Skank in the wings as well. So thank you very much, Joe. You'll have to sit back. I've just given you lots of praise.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks for having us, Marcus. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, bye.
Bye-bye. That's strange that we're getting that problem with the feedback. I've got one last thing to try here. Let's see if we can get Zach on. Hey, Rockafella Skank.
Hey man, how we doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It sounds like we should have the sound sorted now.
Cool.
You've been waiting patiently in the wings there, man.
I've been good, man. I've been popping along. I really enjoyed those last couple of ones there. It was very up my alley.
I thought that was right up your alley. I'd imagine so.
It was.
So anybody that doesn't know this man, this is Rockafella Skank, otherwise known as Rocky, otherwise known as Zach. All the way from Portsmouth. Thanks very much for joining us, mate.
Oh, no worries at all, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a real pleasure. Obviously you're hip hop, which is obviously going to be a little bit different from the original starting point, but we've slowly merged into a little bit of hip hop, covering all bases today.
No, that was good. I liked the subtle transition there. I like what you did. Nice.
So I don't know, like again, people that haven't seen you, where they're likely to catch you.
Well, kind of nowhere at the moment, but once things open back up, you can catch me, generally speaking, down Wedgwood Rooms. There's this fantastic hip-hop organization in Portsmouth called Word of Mouth, who organize a lot of live events called Grab the Mic, and that's kind of where we all congregate and go be hip-hop. It's a great like melting pot, and anyone who's into that kind of scene should definitely check those guys out. They run some really great events.
Get over to Portsmouth, have a word with Zach here. I'm sure you could catch him on Facebook and have a chat. But he's doing all the hip hop thing over in Portsmouth, and I think you'd be a welcome guest. Let's play a quick track of yours just to give people a bit of a flavour of what it is that you're about. Let's see. I have this one.
You and your best mate boring. Spills her guts at 4 in the morning. Rinsed your stash, that's cash, get more in. Whole scene's lean, just like free falling. Crashed to the ground and now we're cooling. Round these bars where the drinks keep pouring. I was off the one side, non-conforming. They was all engaged in some mutual stalking. Back to the afters, corner shop lagers. We was at the bar, a disaster with laughter. And we couldn't go much harder. And we don't wear no armor. And our humor couldn't be darker. And if you ain't noticed, I don't rate the drama. Now I'd rather ruin your lipstick and steady your mascara. Ay, and we both came in with these bad intentions, looking for a night we might not mention. Eye contact in the same direction as we both crack into sexual tension. Looking to arise, that's my ascension. I provide my full attention. We ain't wasting conversation, analyzing situations. Man's been sitting in the background lately, thinking to myself, boy, she looks tasty. Misbehaving, she acting wavy. It's gonna take a lot more than shots to save me. Less I'm crazy, she might rape me. She might take me off to one corner. Twist and turn, we explore our borders. Flow like water, surrounding auras. Look around the room and the whole team slaughtered. Perceptions altered, moving forward. Don't do things by halves, not quarters. It's all calm, yeah, the lights, they vibrate. You put me in a better mind state. Someday, somewhere you might cause me heartache. That might explain my increasing heart rate. My increasing heart rate. Nobody gonna steal my sunshine. O's on my phone and I still swipe decline. Step to me like stepping on a landmine. The thing goes boom when we hit the skyline. I'll be wasting my time. I'll be out on cloud 9. For now I'm staying offline, cause some things are hard to define. See me killing a rhythm while I sit to one side, chilling with women voluptuous thighs. You hideous children be killing the vibe. I ain't out with you, I'm just here for the ride. Boss man energy, whole night ahead of me, burning an effigy. Here's to the memories, there's the new enemies. They be unfriending me and now I'm the star of my own documentary. Lost inside our wavy minds, we crash just like the waves and tides. Slip inside a different vibe as we drift by and say goodbyes. Sugarcoating our white lies, staring, sharing our white lines. It may come as no surprise that we ain't in each other's lives. You man just make it look hard. Step into me and get pawed. Breaking you down into shards. And now it's a thing of the past. I am just so damn bizarre, like I just landed from us. And my head is still in the stars. And I don't wanna let down my guard, no.
I'm done with him, innit?
That is so cool. Let's give it a Tuesday. That is so cool. And man, that was like one take.
That is, I can confirm, and thank you very much for pointing it out, my friend. That is one take in the booth. That was one solid thing. It is pre-recorded. The little dance was added later. That was me hooking up with a guy who goes by Questionable Motive. He films a lot of UK hip hop music videos. He's pretty recorded for in the hundreds of rappers, and bless him, he had a day for me, and that's kind of what we created together as my first little kind of come out to the world.
Yeah, and what a way to come out. I mean, it's a great track. You're getting loads of love on the feed, and you're very skilled, and it's great to see good fresh talent coming out of Portsmouth, man.
Thanks, man. I mean, I will point out that instrumental I absolutely cannot take credit for. That goes out to Outcast, and the original track, for anyone who's interested, is entitled Spotty Arty Dopalicious. Look that up and get that version of it, because this is far superior.
Yeah, I'm not going to spell that one out for someone. Goodness.
Yeah.
And I've seen that you have you need to, I think I've seen some of your stuff and I've listened to quite a bit now, and I'm thinking you need someone that's going to create some wicked beats like that. Who does beats for you? Have you got anyone doing that stuff for you?
So I've worked with quite a few people. I've been really lucky in the old beats department, because I am not an overly talented beat maker. I've got a bit of an ear for it, and if I've got an engineer with me, I can do some stuff. But initially, a guy who's done a lot of stuff for me is a guy called Kamado, which feeds us nicely into the next video. This is a collaboration with a producer that I did a lot of stuff with. He's a really cool guy. He went off to study music in Copenhagen and releases a load of stuff and raps himself now. And he's a genius, man. He samples stuff like lawnmowers going off and stuff like that. Creates sounds out of them in his production stuff. And yeah, it's crazy, like the stuff he does.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite unique. Well, it's not unique, it's just quite unusual, and I suppose that's why you're going to get some of those original sounds, so why not? So man. you don't create the beats at the moment, and obviously you're the man with the raps, you're the man with the lyrics. So where does that all start from? I mean, I know I've known you for a long time, so we're talking about we can talk about how you are at the moment as a performer, and that's like, you're already hitting it. But where did it all sort of start from? Because obviously you didn't grow up.
I don't know, man. Like, I suppose like a bit of attention seeking's always been somewhat in my nature. And something that draws me to hip hop is that it is so, it is just this big egotistical ride, and it's a great thing to be, and it's a great thing it's fun, man. Initially I was doing acting, was a big part of my life, and I enjoyed creating characters, and I enjoyed the playing with words and dialogue in different ways. And eventually, once I started getting into hip hop music, I realized like how much of that skill set was transferable into hip hop. Like, it really is crazy how like doing like really lame tongue twisters and remembering words has like actually formulated into me like giving myself a new outlet.
Yeah, well, you're a wordsmith, and I guess you've kind of managed to develop that skill into this art form that we're seeing now. And you've obviously got a good ear for a good beat. So, some of the stuff I've been hearing is really kind of, I'm when I was listening to that last track, I couldn't help but bumping around, and I was like, I nearly put up an image of me popping around in the background here. But it seems that you're getting a lot of love on the feed. We're going to play the next track in just a second, but shout out to Tom Hampshire. He's obviously one of the big fans, literally from day one.
If I may, to give like a really honest and true answer to how I started getting into rap, Tom Hampshire takes the credit for that. So big up. Sorry, he's blowing my phone up like, hey, where did this start? So I feel like I should have shouted that out. Sorry, man, I'll let you continue.
We've got Molly White. She's obviously checking out the stream. She loves this track, so she's obviously enjoying it. And Omar, I think I've seen Omar in some of the videos.
He's my current beat maker and music collaborator. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Ah, that's cool, man. That's cool. So this next track, I believe it's Forgetful, right?
Yes.
Okay, should we play it?
Yeah, let's go, man.
Shit, I'm here again. Lost in my mind, trying to comprehend how it is that I haven't lost all my friends, and how I see life through a different lens. And in the end, it all depends. Yeah, my mind's in line for a total cleanse. Ain't out here trying to make amends, or just talk till it all makes sense. No, though really, I move real freely, and most of these freaks can't stand to see me. Man, I get murky, dirty, sleazy. She get flirty, hurt when she tease me. Hold me tight and sleep real sweetly. Okay to leave because she don't need me. I make bad choices, look real easy, incomplete. Doing this on the weekly, forget me not. I'll be out here acting up. That's believe they cause a fuss. You and yours just cop a straw. Oh, forget me not. I'll be out here acting up. That's believe they cause a fuss. You and yours just cop a straw. Oh, so I was painting pretty pictures in a pixelated paradise, floating in a sea of indecision and some bad advice. Each and every hour, twice I sweep away these parasites. See inside your mirrored eyes, inside you hide a vicious fight. Man, I beg you please, listen now. I've been trying to do you proud. I've been trying to sort things out, and that's why you ain't see me round there. You man just make it look hard. Step into me and get bored, breaking you down into shards. And now it's a thing of the boss. I am just so damn bizarre, like I just landed from Mars, and my head is still in the stars. And I don't wanna let down my guard. No, forget me, no. I'll be out here acting up. Best Best believe they cause a fuss. You and yours just copper straw. Oh, so forget me not, I'll be out here acting up. Best believe they cause a fuss. You and yours just copper straw. Oh, so forget me, or forget me not to 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 forget me.
Nice, great track. How old's that one?
That one is over a year now. That was my first ever kind of full production music video, fully kind of like actualized song. That, you know, the first thing that wasn't just kind of like a jumble of all my kind of different works kind of piled onto one thing. It was like my first kind of like released kind of fully thought out song, I guess.
Yeah, it's another great track, another great recording. I want to see more from you already. So where can people sort of find your content? You got a YouTube stuff? Is it all on Facebook?
So I'm currently you can find me on my YouTube channel. That's Rockafella Skank. You can also find a song of mine on Spotify in collaboration with a guy called Tommy Brown. You'll find it a lot quicker if you search Tommy Brown rather than me. So look that up. But in the near future, I'm looking into more of kind of schemes that help fund like local musicians a little bit better than kind of like places like Spotify and things like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got a bit of a plan in the works for that as well.
So I noticed in that last video, you rolling what I think was a cigarette. And,
yeah, totally.
and that tongue, man, I just saw that tongue roll out. I was like, when does it stop?
That was a fun day, man. It was a fun day recording. I'm glad I've got the music video because I remember none of it.
So what's next for you, man?
So I'm currently, like I said, working with Omar, a great pal of mine, who he and I are collaborating on a project that's going to be called Split Embers. And we're going to be bringing more kind of like live instrumentation into it. So like things like guitar. He uses pads for production and things like that. And we're going to like look into, you know, kind of just building like something that's much more kind of like multi-genred, because I feel that's the great thing about hip hop is it samples so many different flavors of so many different things that it never seems out of place anywhere, in my opinion. So we're going to really kind of play with that idea of it. Yeah, like it's going to be a little bit similar to a project I had going in the early years, which was kind of it was a mix of an indie band and a rap duo that, like, in the end it just didn't quite and couldn't quite get there. But I've always been thinking back to ideas that like could be like that.
Yeah, well, I would imagine that would be quite cool to see as well, because you could maybe even develop that into a staged live performance, get it all happening. And you know, as I say, you create a great sound, so I can't wait to hear more from you. And this new project sounds like it's going to be great.
Thanks very much, man.
So I want to talk a touch on the name Rockafella Skank.
Rockafella Skank. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you're one of the few people who got it straight off the bat. It is a Fatboy Slim reference, and I quite like it as a way of summing up my aesthetic as a whole. You know, Rockafella being, you know, a term, you know, that takes you down the idea of like wealthiness and luxury, and following it up with Skank. You know, I consider myself to be, you know, a can of special brew kind of served in a martini glass type situation. I like the two mismatching concepts coming together.
Oh mate, that's classic. And I guess I wanted to also touch on, you say we were talking previously about these events that I mean, you ultimately have been working in event coordination as well, right?
Yes. So in the before times, there was an open mic similar to yours, Marcus. That was called Open Your Mouth. It focused a lot on like kind of poetry, spoken word, and then opened up to more music, indie film, all these kind of other things. And since, like yourself, it's become a stream. And that stream has mostly kind of Portsmouth artists. Quite a few international artists have come on recently as well, which has been a great development for us. We're also now Arts Council funded, and the council are allowing us to put on some events around Portsmouth that is open to everyone. Do you get me? When we want to keep the spirit of the open mic to kind of going, we want to, you know, create this environment where all these lovely people who've been locked inside and still trying to work have an opportunity. There's, you know, like that's what we're looking to create for people.
Yeah, man, just get out there. Let's hear. See, I mean, as soon as lockdown is lifted, I want people to come out with their instruments and play in every street corner. I want to hear so much.
That's
music.
it, man. That's it.
I certainly hope so. I think there's a lot of frustration been built up to lead to something like that. And this, you've got an event that's happening, as you say, it's been funded, which is fantastic. And you're going to go for pretty much a full day open mic there, yeah?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've been told I can't reveal too much about it because we haven't announced it yet. But you know, if anyone out here was near Portsmouth on the 25th of September, let me just tell you, like, keep your eyes open for stuff.
Save the date, at least.
Yeah,
save the date.
Save the date.
And get in touch with this man. Perhaps if you're interested in that kind of thing, then maybe he can get something sorted and hook you up. Who knows?
Absolutely.
So thank you for everyone that's watching. Obviously, we've still got we've got Alex McVarney, Alex Dutton, Tom Hampshire is still
Hampshire.
And Omar, he's on there. And
thank you so much, guys.
Down barriers and art. Yeah, so you're getting lots of love online, and thanks everybody that's tuned in tonight. We're going to be here every week. We've got one more session of this season at the moment, though. Sadly, we're going to have to take a small break because I'm having a baby. But what we like to do is bring you new, fresh performers like Rockafella Skank, as well as some top-rated performers from up and down the country. So this will be a show which you can tune in to catch that, and we'll be back for a new season very soon. For every Saturday. Oh, it seems that we have a comment from a Marilyn Hemmings. It's probably
gosh, Marcus, our mother is communicating to us.
We probably should point out that the Rockafella Skank is actually my brother, and Mum's tuned in. So. Which is great timing, actually, because soon I'm going to be playing your last video, and your last video does include a few swear words, old potty mouth here. So brace yourself, Mum, if you're watching still. Mate, it's been great to have a chat with you, and I know that we're going to hopefully see a lot more from you later in this year.
Absolutely, man. Things are coming.
That's good to hear, man. So I guess without further ado, I guess I'm going to play your last video, and we're going to slowly close the show. But this is to a familiar backing track.
Yep. So this is I thought I'd give everyone a little flavor of what these hip hop nights are like in Portsmouth. It's a nice, loud, sweaty, rowdy experience. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy my loud, rowdy, sweaty face.
So no live track from Rockafella Skank tonight, but this will definitely give you a flavour of a hip-hop night that you'll be frequenting in the future. This is Pass Out.
Despite dressing like a Korean 12-year-old, I'm actually a 28-year-old man from the UK. What? And thereby, I know. Thereby, I've got a very specific beat that I remember from back in the day. And if you don't remember it, fuck you. I love it. Spin that shit. She looks tasty, misbehave, yeah she acting wavy. Gonna take a lot more than shots to save me. That's some crazy, she might hate me, she might take me off to a corner. Twist and turn, we explore our borders. Flow like waters, surrounding waters. Look around the room, whole team slaughtered. Perceptions altered, moving forwards. Don't do things by house, not orders. It's all calm, yeah the lights they vibrate. You put me in a better mind state. Some way it might cause me heartache. That might explain my increasing heart rate. My increasing heart rate, yeah. Bring the stars out, bring the women and the cards out. Tell the present celebration, get the glass out. And we can do this until we pass out. Yeah, bring the stars out, bring the women and the cards out. Tell the present celebration, get the glass out. And we can do this until we pass out. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I've been joined by Omar. Don't worry, I've still got a verse and another bit to go. I just like to say, taking on the kid, sitting, swimming in a bath with a gin, with a heart full of sin, sprinkling on the heads on my chin. But girl, it's the weirdest thing. See you make the grimmest faces when you bring to me. Tantalized by the kicks you swing to me. Mesmerized wanna make you sing, make you blush. We both rush and start to touch, but it's much too much. And so I got a buffer where I start to gush. So hush, hush, please be quiet. Bass goes further and still feels silent. And inside our riot as we crash land like lonely pirates. Shit, did I mention that tonight in the back dimensions? Yeah, we bring the stars out, we bring the women and the cards out. Let's have a fucking celebration, get the glass out. And we can do this until we pass out. Yeah, bring the stars out, bring the women and the cards out. Let's have a fucking celebration, get the glass out. And we can do this until we pass out. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it, you know. You got this. You got this. Make some noise!
Oh my God, take a deep breath. It's going to take a lot, yeah? I'm waiting for it. Come on! Women back to the pavement. Security music change the punk business. Stop the normal way. Both the doors of reclamation. Make the big languages and think about how they have the pain. I'm thinking it's a haven. Religion, that's a raven. Ravens, obligations, prosecution, regulations, regulations, provocation, fucking dominations, champions, players, they are rackets. Top of the world of rackets, we're using it in champions. I know there's a lot of money, because we're all for them. There's my country, we can hold it like the best. And I know you have to make the perfect drama. The marks that you're on, the perfect drama. Perfect drama. Yeah, fuck it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the wrong kind of Skank. Big up word of mouth, and thank you so much for entertaining me.
Wow, fantastic. So that is what the energy this man would bring to an evening. Damn!
Do you guys remember Tiny Temper? Me either.
Mate, that was quality. That's quality. I have to come to one of your nights. I mean, this is like the biggest regret now. I'm like looking at it going, I should definitely get over to one of them. I'll just be the old guy in the corner, wishing that I had the young blood in my veins like you do. But mate, you're so talented. That was quality.
Thank you so much,
energy
man.
in that room. And I think some of the faces of some of the people that are watching this evening there in that video. So big up for Rockafella Skank here. Superb. Thank you very much, man.
Not at all, man. Again, thank you so much for having me. It's a fantastic little platform you've made for people, man. It's good to see.
Yeah, thanks very much. That's really kind of you. I don't know where you start with this stuff. I mean, you must have this like little, I don't know. I mean, I speak to some people that guitar players, singer-songwriters, etc. But so what does it all start for you, man? Do you get the beat first and then go, right, I'm gonna...
Yeah, I definitely, so there's a fantastic culture of beat makers who just throw their stuff out on YouTube in the hope that eventually a rapper's gonna call them up like with a price for it and that kind of stuff. So you end up sort of just like practicing with your mates and that sort of thing. That's it. It's like, it's always something you kind of start as like a half joke. Like, wouldn't it be funny if I rapped? And then like you start throwing a few bars out there and then you start to fancy yourself a little bit and then it sort of grows from there, I guess. I guess that's it, like a friendship group that's like really tight and into it and then kind of formulates into bigging each other up to do it, you know?
Well, mate, you've got a lot of love online here, and I'm sure a lot of people can't wait to see you perform live again. Fingers crossed that's going to be soon. So thanks very much again to Zach for joining us this evening. Rockafella Skank, give it up, give it up. I've got a little air horn here actually. I was going to play it. There you go. That's cool.
I need one of those for my stream. I really do.
Thanks very much, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, peace, man. Good seeing you. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Wow, Rockafella Skank there. What a way to finish. What a fantastic way to finish. The man clearly has a lot of talent and gave us a lot of energy there for the end of the show. Remember, we're going to be here again one more week. We've got one more week of this season and we've got a fantastic show for you. In fact, I'm going to play you a little bit of what's going to happen next week. This is what you can expect.
At the after party, I'm the last one sitting on the stairs at the side of the stage. I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love.
We go on back to yours, girl, and we fool around. I'm gonna spend hours thinking of what I can wear. I'm gonna spend hours.
Break you every step. I travel to the Holy Land to reignite my faith. Past these thoughts of you that echo.
Love like a storm on a highway. Can't see the road from.
Every little thing she does is magic. Everything she does just turn me on. Even though my life before was tragic, now I know my love for her goes on.
So yeah, you know what to do next Saturday. Make sure you tune in for Mr. Jones' Open Mic Showcase. All of those acts are going to be joining me for a chat to find out what's new, what's happening, and what's also on their minds at the moment. So yeah, we're going to be here next Saturday from 7 till 9 p.m. Thanks for all of our guests that have performed for us tonight. Thanks for all those that have been hard at work in the back scenes, in the background, because LINZI here, she's been creating all these videos for us to be able to play on here. She works very hard, and we really appreciate your support. So thank you very much for watching, and make sure you tune in again next week, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.